Hey guys, Matt here. So this video is by request, and honestly, this is a long overdue one. It's my updated opinion on Hyliion. Now, for those who don't know, I invested in Hyliion back in late 2020, I think early 2021. I have a whole playlist, which you can watch up here. And basically, if you care to watch all that, it's basically me slowly losing faith in the company over 2021. Basically, all the delays. I'm not gonna go into the details, but all the delays and pretty much the how it treated the hybrids and its commercialization. And I just got sick of it, and I sold my shares back in November of last year. Now, I sold right around, let's just say right here. It doesn't matter. I mean, the stock is down 65.4% today since I sold it. So in hindsight, I did save a lot of money by selling when I did, but I don't really want to focus on the stock price from here on out. That's irrelevant because, gesturing broadly to the market, the market is absolutely tanking. Like, we were in crash mode on the NASDAQ. So, referencing the stock price beyond this point is just meaningless. So I want to focus on Hyliion itself and how the business is doing. So I think that Hyliion has come a long way. Now, it's got a long way to go, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, surviving through these harsh macroeconomic conditions and supply chain shortages and inflation and stuff, like Hyliion, I think is doing very well, like very well indeed. So this is the timeline for the ERX, and the ERX is the RNG powertrain that Hyliion wants to be known for. This is their first, what they want to be their first big hit. And when I first got into Hyliion, it was slated to come out in 2022. Then it was delayed to early 2023, and then it was delayed to late 2023. That was when I sold it back in November 2021. That's when I sold Hyliion. And so far, it is still on track. Like, even through all this turmoil and the macros, like, it is still on track, according to Hyliion, to start production in late 2023. I really hope that it doesn't get delayed anymore. So far, everything seems to be going as planned, and I love to see it. Pre-orders for the ERX are starting to come in, and starting to come in pretty well. And that was a huge stickler of mine back in 2021, and they're coming in. If we look over here, according to their latest quarterly report, they have nearly 2,000 reservations for the ERX. They announced something called a Founders Program, which is supposed to ship out the initial ERXs, and those first 200 production slots, like, those are filled. So everything seems to be coming together for this company. And I'm, as someone who really wants Hyliion to succeed and really make it as far as, renewable trucks that run on renewable energy, like, yeah, I'm really happy that Hyliion is pushing forward, especially through these difficult times. Their balance sheet looks really, really good. Their debt is practically non-existent, which is really, really good. Their cash is holding up pretty strong. They're tying more into short-term investments, which is fine by me. Now, a lot of their equity is tied up in paid-in capital instead of what the company itself is producing, which for a company that's still starting up like Hyliion, that's fine for now. Revenue is existing now. They're doing pretty well. So far, they've brought in $1 million in revenue, which is honestly, yeah. Hyliion's really getting going as far as these revenue gains. Now, they're still down on the bottom line, and that's going to be the case for a while. They also have a 1.3 million backlog of hybrids. Now, this is not the ERX, this is the hybrids. And right now, they're admitting that truck availability continues to be a supply chain hurdle. Now, this is something that I hope Hyliion gets over, because the macroeconomic headwinds, they're not letting up anytime soon. So I really hope that we see Hyliion overcome this, especially Hyliion being a smaller company. But we'll see what happens. But I'm like, this money, as soon as Hyliion completes the orders, like, Hyliion's going to get this revenue. And for the fiscal year 2022, Hyliion is expecting about $2 million in revenue. So yeah, as someone who's been following Hyliion off and on, I'm really happy to see this company getting stuff together, especially through these difficult times. Now, the question remains, like, what am I doing with Hyliion? Am I buying the stock or am I not buying the stock? Well, before I answer that, I want you to know that this is just my opinion when I'm doing with my shares. And before you even think about taking my words as gospel or anywhere closer to that, this is my portfolio and this is how it's performing. So with Hyliion, I'm going to wait and see what happens. And I may wait and see what happens for a while. See, I am a completely, at least this is what I tell myself, I'm a completely different investor than I was in 2020. Now, Gevo is a weird stock, I know, but from here on out, I'm focusing on companies that generate cash flow. So cash flow positive companies are all I invest in from here on out, and Hyliion is not that yet. Like, there are a few things I want to see Hyliion do. I mean, beyond just become cash flow positive. I want to see the ERX come out on time, because that's a huge stickler of mine. I want to see that happen, and I also want to see how it does, especially now that other products are on the line competing with it. I mean, the Tesla Semi is a thing. Now, I have never had a problem with Hyliion's products. I think Hyliion's products are great. And I mean, the RNG powertrains, they're quicker to, I mean, those trucks are quicker to refill than a battery, the battery electric. I mean, yeah, I fully believe that Hyliion's trucks are fantastic, but it's the company itself that I need to make sure that it's going to get there. So I need the ERXs to come out. I need to see how it does in this market, and I want to see how Hyliion continues to face the strong macroeconomic headwinds. And if Hyliion's stock price is a lot higher by the time that happens, fantastic. I hope it is higher. I mean, because right now I'm more focused on regular steady returns than, you know, trying to invest in, you know, relatively spec stocks or the next 5x or 10xer. Yeah, Gevo's the last one. I'm pretty much done with that. But yeah, I'll be watching Hyliion from here on out, at least for the next few years, just to see how it does. And yeah, keep the good things coming along, Hyliion. But anyways, take care, have a great day, and eat your vegetables.